Welcome.
Welcome to quarantine session of Brent
And
and
Chris.
Chris. We talk.
That was perfect. That was not meant to be done in sync, but with the delay, it just worked out really well.
Yeah, right? At least we hope. Man.
We'll find out.
So, Chris, where are you calling from?
I am in the studio by myself.
And by myself as well. Calling from the studio in my house, better known as my garage.
Yes. Well, I'm glad we figured this out. At first, it was like, is this going to be long enough that it's worth figuring this out?
Clearly it is. Because
okay, how long does it take to figure this out? But not been bad. We're using Zoom right now. I use that at school, and seems to be working out well. We'll find out how this goes.
No doubt. I hope that you know what? I think I try to be optimistic about the whole situation, but how far are we into this now? Like we are a full 2 months or getting close to it.
Does time even matter?
No, it's like doesn't, because it seems to have sort of disappeared over the last several weeks. It's like when it first started, it felt surreal, and then it got crazy. Like we felt the heat was on us, and now people, because I think of our news cycle, everyone's like, "Oh man, we're not getting hit. It's not going to happen." And yet, more and more cases keeps coming out. It's like, come on, please keep it in the front of the line in people's minds.
Yeah, I've been really frustrated with our local news stations, to be honest. They've run just stories about the hardships about people during the quarantine time, and I don't know what the benefit of that is right now. Like, I think we need positive stories about, the people coming together and helping people out, and we've really gotten the whole family dinner thing down pretty good quarantine time, with like the timing of it all and me cooking and when to start the kids' dinners, because they eat different stuff sometimes still. Harry's the picky one. But, we're figuring it out. And there's a lot of good things that have come of this terrible thing. But, it's I get it. Like, I get that it's hard. And if people need to talk about it, that's fine. The news, however, I think needs to be our cheerleader, not the president.
Well, that's correct. Definitely not the president. He's only a cheerleader for himself. But I think you're definitely right. I think the local news, they're just not good at the production side of it. Because, you get like CNN and Fox, I'm sure they all have segments of things they want to show as being good, regardless of perspective, right? And I think that they just don't have maybe a few sprinklings here and there locally. But yeah, I mean, that's just right. There's a lot of good things to be sharing about it instead of beating people's doom and gloom into the ground.
Yeah, I mean, and yeah, I'm sure it has to do with the whole clickbait stuff and
oh yeah, you want views,
right? But I think people, okay, so you could take it another way. Take advantage of people loving to talk about themselves by saying, what's your story? What good thing have you been doing? And we'll share it later. I think that would get everybody excited to tell their good thing that they've been doing.
Sure.
And it's a good thing to be making people think about that stuff. Hey, why don't we take this opportunity to ask, if you're watching this, in the comments below, tell us something positive you've done, something you've helped out somebody,
something you've seen.
Yes, something you've seen. That would be great. I've gone shopping for my mother-in-law, and let's see, I've had my mom actually shop for me once or twice, which was handy, so I didn't have to go out because she was already out, and we're all just pulling together.
Yep, you gotta. I mean, it is what it is.
So I guess we can dive into the whole somewhat standard show form here. How was your quarantine week?
Well, actually, last week I was on furlough from work, so I spent the entire week working on house projects, and you could see my cluttered workbench behind me with untold numbers of grinders and odds and ends of things. I have an entire wood shop set up in here now, and I built there's all kinds of stuff. Cabinet. I redid our pantry with some nice shelves, and finishing up some in the laundry room now, and some hanging stuff, and just been a nonstop list. Was up on the roof 3 stories up, doing all kinds of stuff, and praying that I didn't have to grab onto the vent pipe and hope it didn't break in half before I fell off the roof into the ground.
Yep.
I just figured my neighbors hearing the girlish scream would not be a good look, you know. Plus, meeting your untimely end is not good either, right? But
No.
so
Yeah.
yeah, I've tried to be safe, and yeah, man, it's been a very odd time. I been trying to catalog this in my journal that this is definitely something I think that is like generational in the sense that maybe even multi-generational. That last time something like this happened was 1918, and you can't even use that really as a model for what's happening because it's just different.
Yeah. Yeah. You make a good point too, because for a while I was actually pushing back against that, and I've had to refrain the whole since 1918 thing. I had to kind of refrain because we've had a lot of close calls, you know,
Mm-hmm.
but we've been really fortunate. Nothing's shut down the system like this since 1918.
Nothing made the jump, but 1918 we weren't the world economy as we were today. Like it was more localized, regionalized. There was trade between countries, but nothing like we have today, with the entire supply chains completely dependent upon foreign aspects to the supply chain itself, like whether that be manufacturing or shipping or whatever the case may be. I mean, and it may even be just odds and ends and like piece parts. People don't think about that. Like they complain about, the whole made in China. I'm not going to buy stuff not made in the USA. And I just kind of laugh to myself because made in the USA is tricky too, because if you look at the package, a lot of times they have to admit that it's made from globally sourced materials. Like it's not American made in the truest sense. Like if you want that, you've got to get everything sourced here, manufactured here, distributed here, sold here. Like if you really want that, and that's just it's virtually impossible. Like you couldn't live your life, I don't think, reasonably, and do that only, to my knowledge. It's
As
crazy.
assembled in the USA, then maybe better.
Yeah, a lot of things. I mean, like I have a Yeti cup, and it's like a super popular brand. And I love the thing, but it was designed in Texas and manufactured in China. Apple products, they say the same thing: designed in California, made in China. I mean, like my DeWalt drills, I'm pretty sure that they say on them that it was made in the USA with globally sourced materials. My truck, the F-150, same deal. All of it.
You know, it, it's a fine line to walk. I mean, and
Nothing wrong with it. If you want
right,
American made, yeah.
right, absolutely. And there just needs to be a logical standpoint about it. Like, I mean,
Yeah.
I the medicine. Joe Rogan did that talk about how all of our medicine, like all the medicine that's on the crash carts, almost all of it's made in China.
And
And
India.
right, and
Yep.
he was just saying, if someone told you that the United States buys 90% of its ammunition from China, would you feel comfortable with that?
We buy a lot of our ammunition from Russia.
Yeah, but
I'm pretty sure that's a true fact. It's a true statement. Like seriously, it's
we,
ridiculous.
we make a
Puerto
lot of
Rico,
that though, too.
you're right. But Puerto Rico, I told you guys knew about this, I think. Isn't that the thing where they make like the majority of the IV bags? It's in Puerto
Yeah,
Rico. Yeah, that's a US territory, but guess what? It's still just a territory, and it's in the middle of a hurricane zone every year.
right. And bringing up Joe Rogan again, he said that now with the coronavirus, it's the condoms that are running low.
Really?
Yeah.
You figured that would be like super automated. Like they wouldn't need but like 3 guys huddled up in a control room 6 feet apart to make it run.
Yeah.
But
Well,
if you're rolling through like 8 times the supply because everyone's boning each other every night, I mean, hey, more power to you. At
yeah. Right.
least you're practicing safe sex practices. That's great.
Oh, right. Well, people are going to need an excuse for why they're all having babies. So,
Well, it won't be an excuse, man. We were holed up. What else you want me to do? I have to find something, some way to tolerate this person, even after a fight. Just make up sex.
yeah, you wouldn't let me go to a park.
Yeah, right. So guess what? Let's hop to and do the bad thing.
Yep. Yeah, dude, it's been wild. I mean, honestly, Harrison is it's getting to Harrison. Like
Oh yeah, yeah.
he's a social being and he's like not understanding why we can't go to Kroger, why we can't go to Target, why we can't go to the park. And the neighbor came up to the fence the other day, and him and Evelyn both were like, right to the fence. And I mean, just
Yep.
not a human being to interact with.
I know. Yeah, I mean, our kids, they're lucky because their grandpa's staying with us for the duration of this. Uh, and like I said, my mother-in-law is here. She was in quarantine for like a month and by herself, delivering all that, and came down because we needed some help watching the kids while we finished some stuff. And because Courtney's working from home straight and has been, and I've been working at the hospital because I'm an essential employee. And so, I mean, we need the help. But I don't know what people are doing if they don't have any kind of childcare. Like, this is ridiculous because like our daycare's been shut down. And I mean, yeah, we're eating in more, but I mean, I don't know that I don't know we're saving a lot of money, but at the end of the day, I think that it's been tough. The kids every day pretty much now are like, Dad, is it still quarantine? It's like, yeah. And then they miss school because they miss their friends and their teachers. And I feel bad for them. But, I guess you just have to keep making the best of it and understand it's like you were saying earlier, find the good stuff, like these family dinners. We're doing that a lot, every night. We've only picked up food maybe 3 or 4 times this whole time the past couple months.
Yeah,
And
same
I
here.
don't mean to be a downer about like not supporting local restaurants, but I just don't want to expose anybody to anything.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Unless I know, like I don't think it's mean to say it, but unless I know that you're checking your food staff and everybody unless you're checking their temperature regularly,
Right.
I, and even then, I just I don't think that's 100% safe. And
There's been 30 cases in this Tri-County area, man. 30 cases. That's what we've detected. So of those we haven't detected, with percentage, which is probably pretty low, how many people have they interacted with that have touched things that they've been in contact with? Like, it's impossible. It's out there. It's everywhere. You just don't know it.
you know where the largest single outbreak was in America? I'm not saying that right. So I'm not looking for a state or a town, but like what thing, what I'm just going to tell you. I think that would be easier. And it was a meat processing plant.
I believe it. Yeah. That's why I started shutting them down, which is why you better stock
Six,
up on a little bit of hamburger.
over 600 cases
Yeah.
in a
Yeah.
processing. It was like
That's
Smith.
because they're all on top of each other, slaughtering things and packing it, man. Like, literally, they're on top of each other, like handing stuff off. And they have locker rooms where they got to put their PPE on and all that. And I mean, showering. If you're doing that in a public space, it's impossible to not be around people and everything else. Like, I worked in a battery plant for several months once, a recycling plant. And like, you had to shower off after you left. And like, those shower rooms, they had tiny little booths, like maybe 2.5 feet wide. Like, you crammed your ass in there in your little sandals and freaking soaked up and washed off. But like, the next dude is like right there, coughing and hacking, whatever else is right there. You can basically feel him breathing on you. Like, I don't know how, I just couldn't do it a longer term. It's terrible.
That sounds horrible.
It is.
I would hate that experience.
Oh, I did. It was the summer in Tampa, Florida. So, I mean, outside temperature is like 100 degrees, humidity every day. And I'm in full blown hazmat suit going into this place where they're smelting lead and making ingots out of it. Like, it was brutal. I lost like 20 pounds. I was in the best shape of my life down there. I looked great, but I hated myself.
Yeah. Yeah. That's crazy.
Why do I do this job?
Any new talents learned in quarantine?
Oh,
Well,
yeah, definitely woodworking skills. My
yeah.
father-in-law being here, he's a master carpenter. And so, like, I built the cabinet with his help, and like, it looks awesome. I mean, I don't want to toot my own horn too much, but there's a lot of his input, and just doing the pantry is pretty intricate. I mean, it's woodworking too, in that we made nice wood shelves and we joined them and made a cabinet in there with pullouts, put some pullouts in the kitchen, got another cabinet to make for her. And so, I mean, he's sort of been supplying me with a lot of the tools and things I need to do it right. I have definitely way screwed up some stuff. and gone back and tried to fix it and like made it worse. And so I put my tail between my legs and I walk on up and say, "Hey man, let's go outside so you can have a cigarette. Let me tell you what I just did." I'll have to get him primed up a little bit so that when I explain what I did, oh, isn't too bad. And he starts laughing and then tells me, "Okay, well," and his motto is anything can be fixed. And to his credit, literally everything that I've thrown at him, he has found some way to help me fix it. So
That's great.
kudos to Tom Tom. He's the best.
Most of my endeavors have been in the kitchen.
Yeah, man, I didn't even get in there. Like, how's your quarantine been?
Oh yeah,
in the kitchen.
Honestly, yeah. I've been in the kitchen. I've perfected biscuits, which I'm pretty happy about.
Dude, I want some biscuits when quarantine's over.
Yeah, biscuits eluded me, like the perfect biscuit. And now I found one that's basically 3 ingredients. So just some good old shortening, some self-rising flour, and some milk. And
Nice.
I had some salt and extra baking powder for good measure, but
Mm-hmm.
and I made their perfection. So tonight I made the biscuits and then sausage and gravy.
Yes.
Extras for jelly.
Oh, I can feel my heart slowing down just eating that myself. That sounds amazing.
Chelsea's like, "Oh, they use cream cheese." I'm like, you wish that was cream cheese.
Oh yeah, baby. This is the good stuff. That's awesome.
That's the shortening. And
that's hilarious, man.
Yeah, so yeah.
It's cream cheese. Bless her.
Yeah. I really do want to try to make bread. That was my goal, but honestly, with the kids and school and everything else, it's pretty crazy.
Yeah, man. You're good. You may not be working a ton, but you're full-time dad and trying to get school done. So
yeah, and so I took that acoustics class, which there's so much we can't talk about that, but Brent very much understands my plight of the acoustics and
the importance of acoustics.
Right, and I ended up getting an A in that class, which I never would have expected in my life. But then the other class that I did fine in, I think I got a B. I'm not sure yet, but I thought I was gonna do so well in it, and then I did better in the math class. I was like, "What the heck's going on here?"
You cared so much. You're like, "Damn it, I can't screw this one up."
Yeah, dude, and like it'd be funny. They'd say things like, "As you'll remember in trigonometry." I've never had trigonometry. What is it?
Yes, I recall where you carried the one.
Yeah, I like, let's do a quick review of logarithms. I'm like, what? What's a logarithm? Let's do a long review of logarithms.
Let's fully explain this concept before you confuse the shit out of me.
So
yeah, that's awesome.
It's really handy, honestly. I calculated the reverberation time of my own studio here, our studio, and I found out where our reflection points are, and have been in the process of making it a little bit more sound absorption friendly. And so eventually when you get back over here, it should be good. And
I don't know, man. We might want to move the show into my garage.
I know, man. I know.
And there's a table saw over there we can sit on.
I know. There's lots to play with. Hey,
honestly, we could fire up the old John Deere.
You could do like a segment of like a this old house thing, Today we're gonna build a. You guys ever been using a biscuit joiner before?
Now in this old house here, we're gonna start with the old vise. And we're gonna put some wood in there, and then we're gonna grind. Wait, we don't grind wood. Yeah, I get what you're saying.
I think we're onto something. We should just give up the
political
thing.
Yeah, right. I'm just gonna. Oh my God, there's so much to unpack there too. Like this could be a 6-hour show.
I know, dude.
But I cannot stay up that late. I have work tomorrow.
I'm with you. I started this new semester, and it's collaborative songwriting. Literally every week, it's a new group of people to write a song.
Dude, it's like you're on a TV show. Yeah. Only you have to pay to be on it and suffer through all this bullshit.
Yeah, and the first week was great. I had this guy I really liked. And we did it, and it was fast. And now I'm with like these people who are younger than me, and I feel old. And it's terrible. It's a terrible thing. But
so what's going on with them?
They just don't show up, man. They don't show up. And they don't call me to tell me they're not showing up. And the one girl's like, oh, sorry, I forgot I had an Air Force meeting. Really? Like, what part of that am I supposed to believe?
Okay, look, man, if you're in the damn Air Force, you definitely know when your meeting's supposed to be, and you should be organized enough to know when your personal meeting should be.
Thank you. All
like, wow.
Trying to find a way to drop it. She was in the Air Force. And I get it. Thank you for serving. That's awesome. But get a goddamn calendar. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, you know what? The real veterans that I care about and love are the ones that don't try to use it as a crutch.
That's right.
Hey, man, you're serving. It's usually by your own choice. And I do wholeheartedly appreciate it. I almost went that route myself. But at the end of the day, I think that, regardless of what you experience, you get in because it's something that you're passionate about and you love and you care about, not because you want to sit there and say, oh, man, I do this.
Yeah.
I'm serving.
After law school, maybe, go into like a master's level degree. I think you'd be like, what, an officer?
Yeah.
My kids got sick. First off, Chelsea got sick. Actually, let me take that one step back. We got rid of a buffet, a very old buffet, like this big, and under it was gross. I mean, just gross, because it was heavy. It's like an old buffet, so it weighed 200 pounds, 300 pounds. I don't know. It's a heavy thing. And didn't move it very much. So moved it, bleached the holy moly out of it, but it was near a vent. That vent blew. We breathed in the bleach. Not great. But
the chlorine gas.
Basically, kids were sleeping and roomed away. But Chelsea and I both were kind of hacking the next day. Hers turned into kind of a bronchitis thing. I was okay.
Chemical. Oof.
Right. Well, then all of a sudden, Evelyn has a fever. So we have to take her to the doctor. They check for strep. They say no strep. We asked about the Rona. They didn't know Rona. And so we come home. Then Harry gets a fever. They're both like 100, 102. And then, boom, like 2 days after that, I get it. I never got a fever. Chelsea never had a fever. You know, for us, it's just kind of been a cold. And it was really 2 days of miserableness. And then now it's just this lingering cough, kind of a little bit of congestion. But I think a lot of that's allergies, too, because...
just enough to be annoying.
Right. And where we live, dude, honestly, it's the world in general right now. But I would like to point out that when we go back and watch these shows years from now and I'm all white or gray, that this is the start of climate change. Like, this is where it all starts to happen. And this is why our seasons are so terrible right now. Like, summers aren't fun. Me and Chelsea keep talking about all this amazing stuff we're going to do outside. And I'm like, this is the paradise time, you know? It's
right. It's prime time. It's getting there too. Yeah.
Yeah, the mosquitoes are coming. And then you stay inside again. And like, that's not fun. And where'd my snow go? Where is my darn snow in the winter?
Dude, look at what happened last week when it was hot, nice summer, week before, and then week before last. And then last week was just crap, and then it snowed 2 days in a row. You're like, what the heck?
Yep.
You got your snow in April, my friend, when you didn't want it.
I know. I had all the kids' stuff out. I had everything out. It is what it is. I finally pulled out my umbrella and everything, like my patio furniture and stuff. I have a mouse hole in my umbrella.
What?
Yeah. I mean, luckily where I work.
Damn you!
Dude. And like, haven't I done enough for the cat community that they could help me out?
Come on, bros.
Right, dude. Right.
You guys have one job.
One job.
You can't even do that. Stop it. Don't purr on me.
Frustrating, man. So I found out that in Corona quarantine times, I drink 2 pots of coffee a day.
Ooh, sounds like a lot.
It does, but
I drink probably a lot more beer, though, so I'm with you.
And I gave up alcohol. I've pretty much all but given it up. I do drink. I've been doing the hot toddies. for when I'm cold or have the cold.
Yeah.
Chelsea read that sleep book, and it just, I don't know, man. You should, I'll let you do it. Enjoy your alcohol now, but then when you read this book, you're gonna be like, oh, I gotta knock that off at night. It's wild.
I know. Yeah, I watched the things on the guy who probably wrote that book or has
Yeah,
been associated. Yep, I
you got
know. I know.
day
Huh.
drink. That's the key.
Dude, if I day drink, I fall asleep at like 4 o'clock, 5 o'clock.
Salute,
Well,
man.
dude, yeah, but that's not good because that's when it's prime time to get things done. And then when I'm on the couch and my kids are watching the last show of the day and like eating their snacks at 7 o'clock, it's time to go upstairs. Then I nod off again. And that's not good because then when I go upstairs and I'm singing them their songs and tucking them into bed, I fall asleep again.
I know.
Day drinking at 33, I'm so freaking old, man. I have like no energy if I do that. But
Yeah,
at night, it like powers me. Like I'm
happy,
good. I don't know what time it is right now, but
public happy late birthday on the show here.
oh yeah, thank you.
Your whiskey is
Yeah.
waiting.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, I celebrated in quarantine fashion by drinking lots of bourbon to support your thoughts on alcohol. And what did she make? What even? Oh, she's gonna kill me if she watches this. Don't watch it, honey. She made me a really good dinner. Oh, lasagna. That's what I wanted. Awesome. And she made me a cake.
That's great.
And
That is like what I would have guessed for your
yeah,
birthday.
man. Yeah, you know me. I like the stuff that sticks to your gut and kills you at 60.
Yeah.
But it's so good. Like seriously, my grandma told me you only live once, so to hell with the diet.
Dude, I found a picture of your grandma. I don't know where it's
Yeah.
at, but she's holding like a pint of Guinness.
What?
Yeah.
That shocks the hell out of me, but I would love to see
Had
it.
to have sent me the picture. I don't know where else I would have got it from.
Who? Patrick?
You.
Oh, I had to. Huh.
I don't know.
Maybe.
Yeah. I've never
Yeah, I mean,
with
I
your
wouldn't
grandma.
doubt it if I set her up for the picture, but that's funny. Yeah. Yeah, I'll have to check it out.
Yeah.
The old lady's hanging in there. She turns 95 tomorrow.
Man, that's so cool.
It is cool, but if I'm brutally honest, I think this may be one of the last turns around the sun. That's for sure. Just with the where it's a miracle she's alive right now, and I'm grateful for every day. Gonna go see her through a screen door tomorrow from well beyond 6 feet away to wish her happy birthday. But yeah, we'll see. Here's to you, Grandma. Love you.
Wish her a happy birthday for me too, please.
I will.
I found tons of old stuff. I was going through so what I got that external hard drive for us to back up the stuff.
Yeah.
So I did that, and I started looking at my external hard drive, which was full, and I'm like, what is on this thing? And it was like a bunch of pirated movies and like TV shows. I'm like, I don't need this crap at all.
Glory days.
I know, dude. And I did save the MacGruber because I've yet to find a good hard copy of MacGruber.
It's
And,
so funny.
that's like one of my top 5 guilty pleasure movies. It's just bad. So funny.
That's funny, man. That's awesome. Hey, cool. I deleted off a whole bunch of crap off my computer. I had to because I had to clear up space to do some updates. But that's the thing about computers these days. It's not, they can still run, but they run out of space and the ability to like manage all the data they need to do it. And sometimes it's only expandable to some, a certain extent, and then you can't do anything.
I'm gonna say this because they drill it in my head at Berkeley. Everything you have, your hard drives, they're gonna fail. It's not a matter of if; it's a matter of when.
Yep.
They say have a copy like 5 miles away, and have a a digital copy of everything.
Yeah. Sure. I believe it. The cloud is the savior because it backs up our phones and all the things that are absolutely critical,
Yeah, dude. Right now, I'm working on like 10 years of recorded music. I don't want to lose that. And like
yeah, man.
the neat thing too about music nowadays, and like I know it wasn't. I mean, it's similar in the old analog days, reel to reel stuff, but like in those sessions, it has a pool of all the takes that I did. So I mean, sometimes I did 50 takes. If it was a hard thing or whatever, and like there was so much cool stuff that just didn't make it into the song or whatnot. Like that's got to be the case for other artists too. And imagine the remixes that are going to come out years from now of our favorite bands and stuff.
Yeah, I believe it. I mean, isn't that how all these dead artists, they keep releasing stuff because like they recorded so much of it and like they keep remastering and adding, and here's the lost tracks from 1968.
So
like, where the hell they been? In
there's
somebody's garage because he bought the box of shit in the garage sale.
there's this thing called the loudness war, and it's like kind of what you're talking about, how they keep remixing and remastering, and it talks. I think I showed you the video, maybe not, but they talk about how um it's not a good thing in a lot of instances. Like the music, the way it was recorded, had a lot of dynamic sound that we don't have today. Like that splash on the drums was so crazy loud, but it was supposed to be so crazy loud. And
Right. Yeah, I get what you're saying. The depth of the original recordings.
yes, great word, the depth. Yep. So, all right, nice.
My wood background
Yeah, that's great, dude.
for Brent's wood shop. I look like a lumberjack.
Dude, you should paint yourself like a logo over the back or something.
Or for when we're doing like shows where we need to like have illustrations, I could use my new chalk wall board in here we did for the kids.
Dude, that is awesome.
We could just draw some stuff on there.
That is so cool, dude.
I have the paint if you want to use some.
Yeah, actually, yeah, if you don't care, that'd be great. I'll do their door.
Yeah, it works really good. You just got to follow the instructions to a T.
Story of my life.
But yeah. Bad about that too. Oh man, I learned. So I had actually. So kids, what's up?
We had our first little bit of lag. I think we're good
What
now.
you were saying? Oh, okay. Sorry. So kids, and this is old Brent's house. Drawer slides. So I was putting one of these suckers in, and I learned the hard way. If you just, think you know what you're doing because you've done it before with some simple, cheap ones, you don't. Just open the package and read the instructions, because otherwise it turns into a whole day affair of you looking at stuff and reading videos and going through a whole bunch of mess you don't have to, when 4 words probably, maybe 5, and this thing could have saved me a lot of hassle. So read the instructions, please.
Read them. Just read them. That's fun.
Yeah, there was times where I'm like, I don't know, I was like crying on Tom's shoulder, not literally, but out here like just sitting there. I'm like, I don't get it, man. He's like, it sounds like you do it right. He's like, you should probably look at the instructions. So I did. I'm just like, I put the wrong screws in for my cabinets. Yeah, and they were in the wrong holes too. That weren't as adjustable. So, yeah, I'm gonna apologize to the crowd right now because I'm sitting on this. I didn't work out a chair situation because I was sort of rushed to find a place. That's my fault. I didn't pre-plan, but that doesn't feel good on your ass. So I'm walking around a little now.
I don't think it.
Maybe I should stay over here by my wood background, and that way I've got something that doesn't look like I'm crazy pacing. You know what's funny though is when we have our most in-depth, interesting conversations super late at night or early in the morning, I'm usually pacing around my property drinking or smoking a cigar or something,
I finally got to smoke one of those.
Amazing.
Before,
Yeah?
that was nice.
Oh, yeah, before you had your chemical pneumonia.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's nice, dude. I'm still torn to I'm torn to the Macanudos because I don't. Those have that taste, that it's a cigar taste.
Yeah.
And I respect that.
I can usually mild to medium, and I don't mind them. It's just that I like. I don't know. It's like you said. You were saying with your Macanudos, like you kind of get a brand. Like I like the Romeo, so I just sort of stick with them. But I get it.
Yeah, I like the Macanudos. To me, I don't even taste it. It's like you're just pretend smoking. We should probably not talk about this on here. We're not advocating. Correct.
Children, if you're watching, please, tobacco products are not ideal for your health. So choose not to use them unless, don't use them.
Don't use them. Learn from our mistakes.
Yeah.
And what are your thoughts, man? We're gonna do a Corona show when this is over. I'm looking for an angle. I have takes. I
Well, I
have
want to do like a perspective, and you can't offer perspective yet because we're still living in this, you know?
thoughts on the economy opening.
Uh, okay. So what I think is going to happen longer term, and by longer term, I mean probably at least another month, maybe a little more. Because I originally told you I thought July would be August. I'm still pretty firm on that. I mean, that may be a bit stretching it because of progress that's been made in some areas, but I think May's shot. In June, we start to see some light in terms of like availability to open regionally.
Yeah.
In terms of they're going to relax some things, they're going to still advocate PPE and the 6 feet away to maintain the spread reduction, and then they're going to improve testing to the point where hopefully they can do what they're saying and get out there and when they do find cases, localize it quickly and make sure they get those people taken care of in quarantine so they don't spread it. Like limit the exposure. That's why right now, in my mind, like the U.S. is on a radar map, right? The radar, has got blips on it, and to me, there's dark spots because we don't have coverage still, and that's the lack of testing. And so, to me, that's the big thing with the economy is and I mean, gosh, I think to myself, when can I go back down to Red Robin in East Peoria across from Costco after shopping at Costco and eat a meal with my family inside? And I don't know the answer to that, and I feel like some aspect of this, some people are going to be like, screw it, it's stupid, I'm just going to ignore it. It's always been like this around us. And however foolish I think that may be, I can't, change their perspective. But I think there's a good majority of people out there too, like myself and you, who I think that we're not going to just jump on the first of the line to go in there because we got families to take care of, and I don't want them to get sick with anything. This
Yeah.
stuff's going to mutate. It's out there. So, what do you think?
Yeah. I am a safety first. This may be a foolhardy approach or a concept because I've done absolutely zero research on it. But if we can bail out the banks, if we can bail out Wall Street, if we can bail out the auto industries, we can bail out Americans when this is over. We just have to hold Washington accountable for that, or our states accountable for that. And I understand you can't make money appear out of nowhere, but they do. And
Yeah.
um,
No, I'm not going to disagree with you.
right. And that's all I'm saying. We need to keep people safe. We need to put health and safety first. The signs that drive me nuts are the ones that say, I need a haircut. Like, I need a haircut. I'm wearing this hat for a reason. It's not pretty up there.
I have a home haircut. That's why I look a little funny, but it's okay. It works.
Dude, solid. I cut the boys' hair, and it's fine. I can't cut my hair. If I could, I would. But I'm not letting anyone else do it until a professional can do it. And yeah, so
Yeah,
I mean,
man.
I love my hat. It's all good, But under this, in the mornings when I shower, it's like getting there.
You go back to the 90s.
I know. So kind of exciting. I was going to tell you this more later, and I'll show you when we get off here. But I have a logo for my publishing company now.
Cool.
Yeah, I got to work with one of my friends I used to work with at the shop, Megan, and so we were talking about her title today. She's going to be my brand manager.
Awesome.
Yeah, and I am so excited about it. She's helping me with the website, which should be coming along soon. And I should have a Facebook page launching for the publishing company soon. I'm going to be signing a big band composer. He'll be my first signing of not my own music that I'll be representing. And that'll be fun. So, things are happening
Yeah,
while
man.
the world's not. And luckily, the music thing, writing for film and television, all that stuff, nothing's really changing for that. People are making content still. They still need music. So,
Yep.
good
Yeah.
lineup to be getting into.
You think that this is going to be something people need more of because right now they're doing home concerts and producing, hopefully able to record things, for content they can, publish and get out there, for streaming and whatever other services they can. And then you were talking about when's the economy open. I think it's the strangest thing to me because the economy is still happening in full force, like in healthcare and some other areas. And then it's somewhat lagged. Grocery stores aren't probably dying that much. Liquor stores are probably going crazy. I know that the marijuana and other type dispensary places, they've seen upticks in sales. At least I've read that. But then you have other industries that have just died. Movie theaters, restaurants, anything where you're in close contact with people where you don't have to go there is done. This whole non-essential thing, I mean, you drive around and everything's shuttered. I mean, you can't even go to my wife, can't even go to the makeup store to get makeup. She has to order it online, which that's a good thing. You can do that, but
Good for you,
I
too.
can't go to, I can't go to, well, she's good at makeup, but I mean, a lot of women probably don't even screw with it because they don't have to leave. And
That's true.
and then you got things like Menards. I can't even buy topsoil unless I order online and pick it up because they're in like a war with the greenhouses, which I feel for those folks because they are quote unquote non-essential and have to do curbside pickup only like restaurants.
Yeah, the shoe industry's really taking a hit because, I mean,
I bet.
we're deemed, we kind of got looped in with the essential bit just because we do the orthopedic.
Repair. Yeah.
And the orthopedic. I mean, if people can't go without a brace or something, they need it. So that was good, but I mean, hours wise, it's just that, I mean, people are following the rules pretty well, and they're not coming out. I'd say to some degree, when the sun shines, Walmart is like a disaster zone. I have to say, Walmart is just one of the things I want to talk about when we do a Corona show. But I haven't seen them counting the people ever.
No, not really. The funny thing I had to make fun of was I went in there and they had nobody counting them in, but there was someone counting them going out.
Gotta check those receipts.
Explain that.
Dude, I know. It drives me nuts. And
Costco does a good job.
Oh, dude, it's just people give Walmart all of these like, well, they do this, well, they do that. No, they are a bad company that have had their employees sued them multiple times because they've been abused.
I'll tell you one thing. Menards, I'm sorry to cut you off, but Menards' parking lot is completely full. I went in there today to get some stuff I needed to finish up one of my projects, and believe me, I've been trying to limit my exposure there and like wearing my mask and my gloves and stuff. And their parking lot's packed, freaking packed. And I didn't feel like the store was packed crazy, but they had the whole X's and everything outside, but there was nobody regulating anybody coming in. Like, what's the difference between that and Walmart across the street where they're supposed to be checking, And it's just crazy.
Pardon me. Dude, the
They're
other
fine.
thing that drives me nuts is the this idea that shortening store hours helps anybody.
Right. Well, only if you're doing extra cleaning or some kind of mitigation. It's limiting exposure because of the hours that people are in contact with other people.
No.
The workers.
No, even that's not true. Because they probably have to staff the store more during the hours that it's open to deal with the extra people that are coming in the fewer hours that they have to shop.
Maybe. I have a friend that works at where I work at the hospital. I'm not going to share names. And Walmart because she needs a second job. And she said that basically they got a bunch of people calling in because they don't want to work and be exposed. And that there is some of what you're talking about. But they also have new hires that kind of like made it equal itself out to some degree. So it may be, you're right, that there is more exposure because more people have to cram all the time they were going to go out into those hours when people are open. I don't know. One thing I'd be curious to know is that against the online sales.
That's more exposure for the employees that are there too, because there's more of the population. And
Mhm.
and I just
I don't
don't
disagree. Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
like what are people pretending is happening during these 8 hours, 10 hours that these stores are closed? You know,
I don't
they're
know.
that
Probably nothing for the most part.
I assure you, it is probably nothing for the most part, and it just drives me nuts.
Mhm.
Things I would accept if they had a completely new light bulbs or something put in. You know, they make those blue ozone emitting light bulbs.
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. If they were turning those on for 10 hours a night, the store's just empty, I'd believe it.
Or having those stations that they drive the carts through or whatever through the disinfecting.
Yeah. But they're disinfecting while the store's open. I mean,
Yep.
it makes no sense. And I have to,
Oh,
when there's
yeah. Go ahead. Keep going.
the other thing I'm going to have to complain about, just because I like to complain about this, is where in Pete's name are the sanitary wipes and stuff, like the Lysol wipes and stuff. See, that's not sanitary wipe, the Lysol wipes and stuff.
Yep.
I have been able to find everything else under the sun, but I just can never find the Lysol wipes.
Yeah, me either. And honestly, I'd rather have the darn blue spray, the can. I can't find that anywhere right now. Than the wipes. Like this is what I got. This stuff. This is what I spray my stuff off with when I come home from the hospital.
I
I
can't.
also have this stuff, but I'm kind of afraid of it because this stuff will kind of eat away rubber.
Okay. Yeah. Well, you know, it works.
So thank God. Yeah, man. You remember how you didn't love these shoes I got? Guess what? They're not going to last that long. So
Yeah,
I'll
sorry.
be ordering up some new ones.
Yeah. You gotta embrace them, man.
I know.
Embrace the white shoes.
I don't want to look like a clown walking around.
I honestly don't think people will think that.
Are you sure?
I really do. I would be really surprised.
So I don't want to screw this up, but we're doing the coronavirus show, and I'm going inside, and I just have to grab a charger because my phone is dying.
Oh, okay.
We can keep going.
So,
yeah.
Yeah.
There's nobody down here. I'm in the dark.
I mean, we'll do the whole breakdown. I think Trump's doing as good as Trump can do with this, which is really bad, but I think he's doing the best he can do.
I have a lot. No, I can't agree with that because I think the best he can do in the sense that it's Donald Trump and he's an incompetent. Insert all the words I trying not to seem like a complete. Are you saying it's because he's incapable of acknowledging that he should be really the president, or are you saying that because you just feel like that's all he can do with all the people he's got around him? Oh shoot!
Saying that because he is not very smart. You still there? I still see you.
Are you there?
Yeah, I understand.
I think my phone is angry because I have to plug it in.
Okay. Do you hear me still?
I can hear you.
Okay, I hear you too.
Can you hear me?
I do.
Okay. Awesome. So, yeah, my issue with Donald Trump is I think that the reason why we're having so many issues, like in general with, gosh, I could insert so many problems. Like the states, they don't have any clear direction on what they're supposed to be doing. Like
the bidding war that he started.
At first, it was like, hey, go ahead.
In the bidding war that he started for the ventilators and the PPE.
Yeah, absolutely. And that's just it. It all started with, hey, we're going to get everybody what they need. Everyone's going to get tested. We'll have money for what we need. We're going to support businesses and all that. And okay, I'm down with that. Like, that's great. And, the stimulus package, which that on the surface was awesome. And then you start the whole application of it. And it's a disaster. Like, they ran out of freaking money already for small businesses because they got destroyed by hotels and restaurants. And some of them have hundreds of locations, and they're classified as small businesses. Like, are you kidding me? Jeff, your boss at the shoe shop that should be getting that money, not some In-N-Out burger type place. And that's not the right company. Forgive me. But you know what I mean. Shake Shack, I think, is the one that was giving back $10 million. And they had like 200 some locations, and one of them was like worth some $1.3 billion or something, and had 300 locations, and they're getting money from this, grant. And it's like, come on, that's not small business. That's why I think it was like 200 some billion dollars got eaten up in 2 weeks, is what I heard on the radio today from NPR, which I trust their reporting, and for the most part. And so he's not offering guidance. He created the bidding war. He's not offering clear guidance in terms of how the money's spent, and his own industry is benefiting. I bet even the Trump organization is benefiting somehow from this. I guarantee you.
I've heard
I think that
a stake in that drug that he keeps boasting about.
Yeah, the hydro whatever, the malaria drug. Yeah, I heard about that too. I think that's true. It probably is true because of his investments. Now, honestly, I don't think he's stupid enough to have overlooked that, but I don't know if he's wise enough to actually understand he had that investment. So
I agree.
That could go either way.
Just a footnote or insert alternate topic. We need to discuss sometime too the senators or congressmen.
Those rat.
Yes.
Blah, 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 come on. Talk about being an absolute just scoundrel. Robbing, you get the thing, so you're going to make X amount of millions of dollars off these transactions and save these laws.
The guy's name is Burr, too. One of them's Burr. One of them was Feinstein. I can't remember the other one, but Feinstein's a Democrat.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I don't care what party you are. If you did that shit, then you're a piece of crap.
Yes.
You should be punished.
Yes, that is exactly the point. And I think that's where the Democrats do a better job of inserting their foot in their mouth. But at the same time, that's what justice is. Well,
that's just it. I mean, say what you will. I think, I honestly, I don't think the Republicans are bad people, and I don't think they have bad policies overall. I agree with a lot of their stances in terms of a party in principle, right? But it's because of the fact that they've fallen in line with this idiot of a president we have, and they're not going against him in any way, shape, or form for the most part. That's sickening. And because they won't do that, I don't like them. That's all there is to it, to my dislike of their party right now. And I'm sure when he's gone and they start doing their normal thing, I'll be back to where I was. And like you've talked about, being an independent, that's what it means. Having a choice and understanding that it's a complicated world. One of the books that I think you and I both have read from Ken Follett, one of the characters says to another character that there are no saints in politics, but it's good people that can still change, these good people that can still change the world, for the better.
Yeah.
Look at JFK, completely unfaithful to his wife, but did a lot of good things.
So when I was in, I don't remember, 8th grade, freshman year, somewhere there, I got that Hedonist Handbook. Life-changing for when I was at that age.
I remember that.
Yeah.
You talked about hedonism.
It's still probably a big foundation, pillar stone of my life. But they have this test that you do where they make you say, who would be the best leader? And it was an alcoholic that cheats on his wife, and the other one is I don't remember the other one. And then the other one's a vegetarian, never cheated on his wife. And you pick, everyone's supposed to pick the vegetarian that never cheats on his wife. And they're like, that's Hitler. And you're like, oh, no, it's Hitler. And
that's funny.
Yeah, the other one is JFK, and the other one, I don't remember who it was, but they both had alcohol problems. The other one was Winston Churchill. Alcohol.
Oh, JFK drank. He was on all kinds of drugs because of his pain problems he was having. He had Asperger's and all kinds of issues. Yeah, man, but whatever, right?
Yeah, right.
Whether it was true or not, he was on some stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, well, that was the thing, too. That was the age of pharmacology where everything was the Wild West, so.
Prescribe. Yeah, and so, if I may steer this back to Donald Trump.
Oh, yeah.
I think it's wholly possible he is so stupid that he really isn't capable of doing this correctly. I believe that. Could be possible.
I think this... I don't mean anything. Of course, if I say things are funny or things like that, I don't mean to minimize the loss or the hardships that everyone is doing. I don't want to fall into that by any means. But I think it's interesting to watch him not be able to campaign.
Oh, yeah. He's like a caged animal. He can't help but make coronavirus briefings into a campaign.
One went 2 hours long, dude.
He can't help it. Seriously, he needs the attention. Like he's dying, that he can't have these massive crowds. Like when he said, America wasn't built to be shut down. No effing blah blah blah. Sorry, I'm containing myself.
I know.
No kidding. We know. Everybody knows. But guess what? We also know you can't help the fact that you don't like not being able to be groveled down to, and people just bowing and scraping to be in your presence for whatever reason.
His echo chamber, all those people applauding him.
He needs it.
Terrible things.
He wants it. He's got to have it. I get it. But guess what, buddy? You can't, and all your people are telling you can't. And I think that's the only thing in this whole administration that's made me feel happy is the fact that this dude can't do what he wants, and that if he did, it would probably destroy his president. Like, I think that probably the only thing that would guarantee him not to get reelected is if he screwed up majorly and people just started dying, like his buddy Jair Bolsonaro out of Brazil. They have massive die-offs, like satellite imagery of hundreds of mass graves, and they're reporting like no deaths from coronavirus. It's like because you have no testing, no medical infrastructure, and you're vulnerable in terms of your population. Like,
and he fired his chief medical guy in the government.
Yes.
And yeah, dude, that's at least we're not there.
He's like that stupid guy from Turkish whatever Stan who was saying that it was better to die on your feet than on your knees. Okay, motherfucker, go in the coronavirus clinic and just breathe all the sneezes for an hour.
Dude, that
I'm sorry,
I know.
I can't help it.
That's where I get so frustrated with these people protesting. Like, are you kidding me?
Oh yeah. You're gonna run over that nurse? That image is going to go down like that Tiananmen Square one.
Dude, I know. We have to go there before we go. Joe Biden.
Yep. Uncle Joe.
Bernie's out.
I know. I'm sad. I really am. You know me. I'm not a huge Bernie lover, but I was kind of hoping he'd give Joe a run for his money so we at least have a chance, right?
I vow never in my life to start a massive public call for a revolution and give it up so easy. That's
okay.
That's where my heart is broken. Yeah, I know, right, dude. It's ridiculous. You can't say it's time for a revolution and then be stopped 2 times by the DNC. That's ridiculous.
Yeah. I don't doubt that there was. I'm agreeing with you that there had to have been some dirty politics there. Had to been. Now,
Biden came in
the
late.
thing that I think correct.
If I would have been
Bernie, he cheated.
Yes. If I would have been Bernie, I would have came out and said, I'm going to be your nominee. And if I'm not the DNC nominee, I'll be the independent nominee. Just know that going forward.
Yeah. I think, if it was anybody but Donald Trump, he probably would try to run a third-party ticket or something. But I think he's decent enough, though, to realize that if he ran that he'd split the ticket with the Democratic side, and it would just guarantee a re-election. And even though I think and not so kind of to swerve back toward the Joe Biden thing just a little bit, I think that Joe's pick for VP will say a lot in terms of where his state of things are going to be. If it's a decent pick, and I'm just saying, dealing with the current status as it is, regardless of what's going on with Bernie, and we can go back to that if you have more comments on it. I didn't mean to cut you off, but I just think that his VP pick is going to be the big thing for me. Like, if it's a good, solid pick, not some fringe, not something that's some person that's just, a symbol or whatever, and that's something that he just offers lip service to, but they can stand up on their own and talk. So, that, to me, will mean a lot, mainly because I don't think Joe Biden has full-blown dementia, but I do think he's old, and I do think that it's when you get older, you're not as quick on the draw.
Cognitive decline. I think it's a great word.
Yes, he could just be getting older. And does he have slip-ups? Yes. Does he do weird stuff? Yes. But a lot of old guys his age do. And I'm not going to go into the whole anything about sexual assault or whatever accusations that may be out there. Forget all that. I don't want to go there with this part of it. But I'm just saying in general, I would not be surprised if he could not meet the prime standard of himself in a IQ test.
Yep. It's going to come
a
down.
cognitive test of any
He
kind.
says that it's going to be a female or a woman minority. To me, it's going to be Stacey Abrams of Georgia, Kamala Harris. I think Tulsi Gabbard would be a really smart. What's the girl from Hawaii?
Dude, if he picked her, I would love that. That'd make me happy.
That's the Hawaii chick, right? Tulsi, the woman.
Yes.
I think
Tulsi, yeah.
The sensationalist, honest to God, smart option just for the sake of winning would be Michelle Obama.
Dude, you know what? I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell that she would run. Like, I don't think that she would. I just don't think she'd do it. But if she would, like, that would make a huge freaking difference. I think it would. I mean, I think there's probably gonna have those people out there who are like, I don't want any more Obama, but I think you got more people out there who'd be like, you know what? I want to go back to the glory days.
Yep. Yeah, dude. And that's what we need to accept, that whoever inherits the next 4 to 8 years is going to be dealing with the worst economy that the United States has seen. I mean,
oh yeah, we're setting it up to be bad.
And that's
we don't know what's going to be like in the outcome of it.
That's my fear. If Biden gets it, it's going to be 4 years of a recovery. People are going to be so burnt out after 4 years, they're going to put a Republican right back in there.
They could. You know what? I mean, if it was a decent person, I wouldn't necessarily have a problem with that. You know, I'm not going to care either way necessarily, so long as they're going to do what I think is the right thing. You know, so, you know, we're all good.
Another point just to say, if Trump doesn't win, he can run again.
Oh, yeah. And that's just it. He can. And he'd be crazy enough to try to do it, too.
He would. And now, I mean, he just hold the Republican Party hostage for that long.
Yep. I don't doubt. I bet his son's going to try to do something, too, because there's a play there. I know that people have already been, quote unquote, calling for it. I think they'd be even worse than this son of a bitch, but, you know, I don't doubt it.
I know I'll take heat for this, but part of me thinks let Trump have it and let him have to clean up this mess that he's inherited with the coronavirus. Let him deal with that, and let us see that the DNC overplayed their hand in forcing Biden on us. Let them fire all of their people, get new people, and give us a real candidate that's not at the end of his life, political life, and somebody who's just better.
It could be, but if we do that, we're guaranteeing I'm almost certain we're guaranteeing he's gonna have at least one more Supreme Court nominee, and definitely set up the courts to be far right-leaning overall. That would be the sacrifice to be made for what we were saying would happen. And granted, I don't disagree with some of that would happen. I don't know if it may be the clearinghouse that you're hoping for. It may be. I don't know. It could be. I just feel like I think a lot of America is upset like you are, definitely. But I don't know if it may go as far, because a lot of those people have staying power for whatever reason. They have the ability to stay, you know.
Well, okay, fine. I mean,
Warren could run again. She's young enough.
Who?
Elizabeth Warren. I could see her trying to run again. Kamala Harris. I could see her trying to run again. We're going to see some common names again, I bet.
I just never liked Kamala. I don't think anybody likes
me either. I think if Biden picks her, that would be like, just point the plane into the ground because we're going down.
Well, he would get California.
Or Stacey Abrams. Yeah, but you can get either one of them to endorse his candidate if it's good. I don't like Stacey Abrams either overall. Like, she just kind of puts me off, but I do get why she would be a somewhat good candidate in a Southern Democratic black woman. I mean, it's just that has a very large appeal.
She'll lock up the South. I mean, that's fine. It's fine. It is what it is. I don't want her to become the president. Again, that's not my cup of tea.
No, it's too much. It's just like the same problem I have with Kamala Harris. Like, it's not that my only problem is just when they both talk, their principles just gets into preaching in a way that I don't feel is something that's actionable.
Ever since she gave her rebuttal to his State of the Union, I was out.
Yeah.
It's not my cup of tea.
I hear you.
Well, what do you think? Wrap it up?
Yeah, I think this was a good first. You know what? This is a maiden voyage on the remote access, and I think people. The cool thing is we can. Chris was talking about this with me earlier when we were testing this out. He can show graphics via the computer. I could be at the computer, probably share graphics too. I'm just not right now. It was easier this time. I can draw on the chalkboard, of course. But the cool thing is we can have guests. We can have more than one person call in and talk and have a wider discussion. So please let us know what you think about this and comment on what's going good, if you would, about with your situation as it is now with the quarantine. Everything isn't peaches and cream, but guess what? It is what it is. We got to find the good in it.
That's right. Comment something positive, and if this works out good, we'll be back doing these more. So,
all right, guys.
Have a nice day. Have a nice week. Have a nice quarantine.
Stay safe. Wash your hands.
This is Brent Miller.
This is Chris Tapp.
All right, man. Take it easy.
Take it easy.